Hello everyone. I hope you are doing good, mentally and physically fit and fine. So friends, let's focus on chapter number 18 and chapter number 19. So those are the last two chapters of the course. Over a period of time, we have covered a lot of questions. So we had important IMP list of 365 questions, guys. So we have covered almost 300 questions. And today we are on the last leg. Let's try to cover the remaining questions today. Okay. So first we'll go to chapter number 18, and that is the new chapter that is on sustainable development. That is development which is good for present also, and development which is good for the future also. That is called sustainable development. Development which can continue over a period of time, and you need to take care of three things: ESG, take care of environment, take care of society, and have a good governance in the entity. So if you have these three things, you will be able to go for sustainable development. Let's see, guys. The first question is what are the global trend in sustainable reporting? What are the global trends in sustainable reporting? Everyone pays attention to what is being reported. If you want people to go for sustainable development, if you want people to protect ESG, it's very important that reporting should take place. So what they're saying across the world, they're saying pretty simple thing, guys. So the content in titanium and content here is exactly same. You can refer this, but then in titanium I have just done some marking, so I will go to it, guys. So what are the trends? Trends are pretty simple. First is mandatory. Many countries across the world has made it mandatory to do reporting regarding SDG, to do reporting whether people are going for sustainable development, okay, to do reporting regarding ESG, environment, what you do for society and governance. So what is the new trend? The trend is reporting is made mandatory with respect to sustainable development, with respect to ESG, in case of listed companies, large corporations, multinationals, conglomerates, etc. In fact, further, they have also made sector-wise reporting. Each sector is different. Different resources are used, different technologies are used, different challenges are there. Okay, so they have made, even at many places there is a sector specific reporting requirements are there. And one of the most popular manner in which reporting should be done is GRI, Global Reporting Initiative. Of the 250 most important corporations, 93% use GRI. So see, when we have to do financial reporting, we need certain base, we need principles, we need format. On the same lines, if you want to do reporting about sustainable development and ESG, we need principles, we need format, and that is given by GRI, Global Reporting Initiative, and 93% companies are using it. So GRI is based in Amsterdam, hubs in Brazil, China, Colombia, India, South Africa, at many places, and they have developed GRI standards. So Global Reporting Initiative is there. There are GRI standards which tell how to do reporting about sustainable development and ESG. But then that's not the only reporting standard we have. We have more reporting standard. CGI, Corporate Carbon Disclosure Project, CDP. So there's a carbon disclosure project in which you need to tell, if you are doing business, how much carbon emission you are doing and what steps you are taking for reducing carbon emission and how much carbon emission reduction you have achieved. So tell us about your carbon emissions, tell us about their trend over a period of time, tell us about the steps you are taking, tell about the reduction you are doing. So carbon disclosure project, it's all pollution oriented. How much pollution you are creating and what you are doing to reduce it and how much reduction you are doing. So we have that stand also. G stand for Global Reporting Initiative. We have just discussed about it. They have to report They have to report environmental impact, social impact, then what kind of governance they are having, and even the economy, what they are doing in economic sense. And then we have I for international integrated reporting. That's the most upcoming and happening thing. That just don't just report on financial aspect, don't just report on sustainable development. May have an integrated reporting, report about everything. So that is integrated, international integrated reporting framework. So these are different standards and format which is happening. So this is the recent trend, guys. So into the very simple things, yes, it is becoming mandatory. It is going specific. The most popular is GRI, but GRI is not the only one. We have CGI, we have carbon disclosure also, we have global reporting also, and we have international integrated reporting framework also, guys. So this covers all the questions of study material because it's a new chapter. So we have to cover all the questions. All the questions are coming from the study material. 6 C's of integrated reporting. So when we say that you report for organization, you report all the aspects. Report what they're capable of financially, what they're doing for environment and so on. So for integrated reporting, they have come up with the approach 6 C's. They have come up with the approach of 6 C's. So report 6 types of capitals. Report 6 types of capitals. This is exactly what we have in our titanium book also, but then in that we have given a shortcut. Monafish, guys, Monafish is a shortcut. Let's see. Let's understand this. Monafish. So report 6 C's, report 6 types of capitals. Basically, we are reporting 6 types of capability of an organization. M stands for manufactured capital. So manufactured capital, we need to tell how many factories, how many machines, and infrastructure companies having for doing large scale production of goods and provision of services. So we need to report about manufactured capital or manufacturing capital. Manufacturing capital or manufactured capital, you can say. So what are capabilities of an organization with respect to manufacturing? So capital here simply means capabilities, and M stands for manufacturing capabilities. Then Mona, O is silent, then O is small, then N stands for what are the natural capabilities? What are natural capabilities? Whether this particular organization has well-maintained water reserves, water reservoirs, and recycled water reservoirs, or they have good access, they have well-maintained land, well-maintained mines, forest, ecosystem. Are these guys having well-maintained water, land, and forest, trees, natural resources, with the help of which they can provide good, they can go for production of goods and they can provide services. Are they having natural capital, natural capabilities? Then F stands for financial capital. So what kind of finance they are having? Whether they have issued shares, whether they have issued debentures, they have taken borrowing, what kind of finance capital, what kind of money they have to develop new things and to sustain over a period of time. Then I stand for intellectual capital. What kind of research and development capabilities they have, how many patents, how many scientists work for them, how many research labs are there, how many patents they are having, how many projects are going on, what is the growth, what is the success. That is intellectual capital, R&D, innovation. Then S stands for social capital. Social capital stands for what kind of relations they have with society, what kind of relations they have with society, with stakeholders, how good society perceives them. So what are their relation with the people surrounding the factories, what are their relationship with the government, what are their relationship with customers, with suppliers, what good type of relationship they have, whether people acknowledge their social efforts, their CSR, are they thinking good about it, are they willing to work with them, are they willing to support it? That's called social capital. how good you are in maintaining social relationships, how good you have done for the society. Is society willing to help you? And then H stands for human capital. H H stands for human capital. So human capital, how many employees they are having? Are they well trained employees, skillful employees? Are they having knowledge of the industry, recent technology? Are they really motivated to work with you? How good are their productivity and capabilities? So that is human capital. So here 6 C's is simply means what kind of 6 capability any organization is having. If they are having these 6 capabilities, they'll be doing good business also, they'll be able to take care of environment also, they'll be able to take care of the society also, and they'll be take care of the governance also. That will be a wonderful thing. Very important 6 C's. Next question is identifying the 6 C's. Very important. You can expect more such cases. So they're talking about a listed company. In the listed company, and they're saying that they want to go for integrated reporting. They want to report about. So when we talk about 6 capital, that's a way of integrated reporting. BRSR, we are going to study about it. Business responsibility and sustainable report. In India, BRSR is mandatory. We are going to see about that. Now the question is not that. Question is, this information is provided. We need to tell it has increased the number of customers using digital customer mobile app. They have launched a digital customer mobile app. Digital customer mobile app of the company from 2 lakhs. Now the users have increased from 2 lakhs to 4 lakhs. 100% increase in digital collection. It has benefited customers of the company and resulted in use of digital methods in business operation. They are using digital technology a lot. It has increased number of beneficiaries in flagship CSR programs from previous 10,000 people to 75,000. So they are providing CSR facility to 75,000 people. It has provided value for communities. Identify, that's the which kind of capital it is referring to. Very important. You can get many such questions. The first thing it talks about, so Munafish, is it manufacturing? Is it natural? Is it finance? Is it intellectual? These guys are having a lot of good technology. They are using innovations. Okay, that shows intellectual capital. Okay, then S is social capital. Very good relation with the society. They are doing very good things in society. Society will come and help them a lot. So that is a social capital. Very interesting, guys. You should talk about 6 types of capital in short. Then you should discuss the case, and you say that this digital thing is intellectual capital, and this CSR is a social capital. Okay. In India, we have developed our own reporting for sustainability, and that's called BRSR, Business Responsibility and Sustainable Report. It's mandatory. It is mandatory from financial year 22-23. However, disclosure was voluntary in the year 21-22. SEBI has currently said that top 1,000 listed companies. So as on today, from 20 to 23, financial 2023, top 1,000 listed companies are supposed to present BRSR, Business Responsibility and Sustainable Report. It's an integrated report. We talk about financial performance also, and we talk about the performance in other aspects also. But very soon, remaining listed companies would need to comply with the provision of BRSR. Fine. Then they talk about 9 principles of BRSR. 9 principles of BRSR. Now the question is, what are these 9 principles of BRSR? What are the 9 principles of BRSR, and how are the 9 principles of BRSR linked with 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals? See, so just like everyone has different accounting standards, we have AS, India's, US has US GAAP, Australia has Australian GAAP. There's so many standards for financial reporting. On the same line, there's so many principles and format an approach towards reporting, integrated reporting. Okay, so India is our own approach of BRSR. United Nations have their own approach of how to look, how to go for this reporting, and they have developed 17 Sustainable Development Goal (SDGs). So United Nations 17 SDGs and our 9 principles are interrelated. Okay, interrelated, but then remember, there is no question on 17 SDGs. Remembering that linking is not possible. There is a very complicated table, and guys, remembering them is not possible. So I have given a note on it. Simply explain 9 principles. I don't expect all principles in one question. They may target individual principle, and to remember linking with 17 United Nations SDGs as given ICI table is impossible. So leave it. So I have simply said that how India's 9 principles are connected with 17 principles of United Nations. There's a table out there. It is impossible to remember that. Simply leave it, guys. No need to go for it. Okay. That's a big contribution, because some of the students will try to remember that. That's not possible. Let's not do it. That's not possible, guys. That's not possible. Let's not do it. It is not required. Don't focus on it. Directly focus on 9 principles. Okay. Now, let's see what are the 9 principles, guys. So when it comes to BRSR, it is based on 3 basic principles: take care of environment, take care of society, take care of the governance. And these 9 principles are based on it. Okay, let's talk about these 9 principles. So we have first principle. They are saying, okay, it is for the top management. Whatever responsibility is given to you, do it with full accountability. Full accountability, that's very important. Don't just do what is written in your roles and responsibilities. Understand your overall objective and do whatever it takes to achieve them. Do work with accountability, and when you work, be ethical. Use ethical principles. Okay, don't harm others. Think about others also, and be transparent. Whatever you are doing, be open to the society. Tell them what things are happening. So first principle is very simple: work with accountability. While working, be ethical, and whatever you do, there should be absolute transparency. Develop ethical policy and procedure and practice. Develop ethical principles. What ethical principles should be followed while doing the business? You talk about ethics. Share this information. Explain everyone stakeholders. We don't work on whims and fancies. We have well-defined ethical principles. We work on ensure transparent. So explain to all the stakeholders, explain to shareholders, explain to employees, explain to customers, explain to suppliers, and then also explain, be transparent, put it on your website, your ethical principles. Encourage value chain entities to adopt those principles. You also use it and ensure that your suppliers, your contractors, contract manufacturers, you also work with accountability and ensure they also work with accountability. They also have ethical principles. They also implement it, because it's up to you. If you put little pressure, everyone will fall in line. Address externalities. Try to criticize people who are not following ethical principles. Ask them to fall in line, and you may not do business with them. So it's very simple. They're talking about ethical principles a lot, ethical principles and their disclosures. And then they're talking about value chain system. You should work properly. Your value chain should work properly. Then, so first principle is about, in general, ethical principles. The next principle is about safe and sustainable goals and services. Ensure operations result in better life for the customers. Resource optimization, education. Minimize resource use in product design. Educate consumers about their rights. Implement sustainable consumption. Reduce the focus on reduction, reuse, and recycle. So they are saying that if in sustainable goals and service, ensure that better life for consumers. You think about it, how you can make better life for consumers. Very important. Second principle, focus on what good you can do for consumers. And when it says what good you can do for consumers, you focus on your products and service, redesign it, remake it. Okay, so give proper satisfaction, proper benefit to a consumer, and explain them about the products, good things about the product, problems with the product, challenges with the product, explain them, and ensure in the whole process ensure that there is reduction of usage of resources, reuse of the things, recycling of the thing. So keep consumer in the focus, and educate consumers about good things, bad things, how to use, how to be sustainable. Tell them to use less of the plastics, to to go for bulk purchase. Don't go for small purchase where packing material is more and the items are less. That's not overall good for society. 5 rupee thing, 1 rupee thing is not good. Go for bigger packs which are good, sustainable also, and it's good for them also. So focus on consumers, focus on teaching them, educating them, making their life better, and telling them how to use products properly over a period of time. So focus on consumers and make their life better. So first principle was overall ethical, second principle was focusing on consumer. Then next is focusing on employees, address dignity, health, well-being of the employees. There are a lot of laws for labor for employees. Ensure regulatory compliance with for employees, respect employee dignity, freedom and association. So most important is law. Ensure that all the employee-related law, rules, regulations are complied with. They are treated with dignity. Ensure that there is a safety, prevent child and involuntary labor, maintain work-life balance, timely wage payments. Have a safe environment. They are protected against the accidents. Ensure that children are not working. There should be proper work-life balance, proper timely payments. Wages should meet living standards, safe, hygienic work environment, skill, career development, harassment-free workplace. So go for legal compliances, respect them. Then next, go for their safety and well-being. Next, you go for living standards and development. So third principle is all about employees. Take care of your employees. So first was ethical, next was consumers. Focus on consumers, make their life better. And next is about employees. Then respect for stakeholders, interests and responsiveness. Engage with stakeholders. Just don't think about yourself and your profits. There are a lot of people are connected with you. A lot of stakeholders are connected with you. Okay. There are neighbors, there are local people connected with you, government it is connected with you, there's an ecosystem, there's a market which is connected with you, there's an industry which is connected with you. So on regular basis, have good communication with the stakeholders. Clearly identify who are the people on whom you are having an impact. Identify the stakeholders. On regular basis, communicate with them, what you are doing, what results you are getting, and give equal importance to the stakeholders. Think about debenture holders, preference holders, everyone. So identify stakeholders, regularly communicate with them, give information on regular basis. So next principle is on stakeholders. Then human rights in business operations. Okay, human rights in the business operations. Do business, that's absolutely fine, but understand human rights. Okay, that's very important to understand human rights. Just a minute, guys. Just a minute. So when we talk about human rights, it's like treating all the humans equal. When you talk about human right, the basic essence is treating all the humans equal, irrespective of their ethnic origin, irrespective of their caste and community, irrespective of their color, irrespective of their appearance, irrespective of what language they speak, what culture they have, and this thing should be protected everywhere, whether it's our suppliers, whether it's our employees, whether it's our customers. Everywhere human rights should be protected. All the human, so the base is all the human beings are equal. All the human beings are equal. Keeping that in mind, in fact, there should not be a gender discrimination also. Okay, so understand the human rights a lot, then integrate with the policies and respect human rights of all stakeholders and group. So that is human rights. Next, principle number 6 is you take care of the environment. You take care of the environment, protection and restoration of environment. Okay, you try to understand that use less and less of environment. You redesign your products, redesign your factories. Okay, try to use less and less natural resources, optimize use of natural resources, have the best practices of treating the pollution, with air pollution, how it should be treated, water pollution, land pollution, how things can be recycled, reused, and then ensure that you are helping to improve the climate change conditions. So taking care of the environment is the principle number 6. Principle number 7 is policies and procedures. You should interact with government a lot. You should interact with government authorities and the government process, and you should contribute in policy making. You should interact with the government, tell them what policies are good, bad for the country. You should involve what kind of policy should be there, what kind of businesses should be there, what kind of development should be there. For example, interact with the government, whether we should go for nuclear power, is it good? Whether we should go for solar power, is it good? Talk to them about it and get involved in the policy making procedure. Public and regulatory policy making procedure, you should be involved in that. Principle 8, promote inclusive growth and equitable development. Collaborate for better livelihood and assist marginalized community. It's very important that you generate wealth, but equally important, inclusive growth. Ensure that you are distributing wealth to stakeholders also. Ensure that your employees are improving, your suppliers are improving, your contract manufacturers are improving. Inclusive growth means it's like everyone should have their share of wealth, everyone should improve. It should not be lopsided, only few people are becoming rich. That is not good. So understand what is the impact you're having on the operations, overall economy and society. Identify marginalized communities, do something about them. So understand the impact you're having on the society. Identify the communities, create products that benefit marginalized. Think about the poor people. So when we talk about inclusive growth, we think about the poor people, underprivileged people a lot. Have some products for them also. Have some facilities for them also. Some products which are low in prices. Okay. Avoid business induced displacements. Don't just displace people only for the sake of business, displace poor people. So when we talk about inclusive growth, we talk about poor people, we talk about marginalized communities, we talk about locals, and we try to include them, try to think about their benefit also. And if someone has developed patent, get it registered on their name. That's what patent law says in many countries. Patents are registered in the name of individuals. Give them due credit, give them growth, give them financial benefits. And lastly, provide value to consumers' responsibility. So the way we advertise is very important. Have fair practices. You go for advertisement, give the whole information, all the information. Don't try to hide the negative information. Be fair in your business. Be fair when you reach out to the consumers. The way you reach out, your advertisements, your offers, there should be fair competition. There should be freedom of choices. ensure data privacy, avoid misleading advertisement, and so on. So when you reach out to them, when you offer goods and services to them, advertisement should be ethical. There should be true advertisements. It should not be misleading. Proper advertisement supported with proper data. That's very important. And when you offer things, there should be freedom of choice. There should not be compulsions. There should be fair competition. So guys, these are the 9 principles. These are the 9 principles, and it will be important to remember them in the number wise. ECE, ECE, ECS, SHE, and PIO. So ECS, generally we go for electronic clearing system. So electronic clearing system, so that is electronic transfer basically. So we can say that ECS to SHE, electronic transfers to SHE, because person of Indian origin. So you may remember, E is for using ethical principles, C is for be beneficial to consumers, think about it, educate them, okay. S is for sustainable, S is for sustainable development, sustainable development. Oh, okay, just a minute. ECE, ECE, fine guys. If you can get, but because even the principal numbers are important for us, I will maybe post some shortcut about it. I have an idea how it can be done. I will do post about it. Let's go ahead right now. So those 9 principles were important guys. Quickly, methodology of providing assurance in BRSR, very important. Chartered accountants are supposed to audit this BRSR. We are supposed to audit this BRSR guys, okay. So what kind of methodology? Is very simple. Preliminary review of ESG report. So first go for preliminary review. First go for preliminary review of ESG reports and parameters. So just have an overview of the ESG report, that is environment, social and governance report, their parameters. So first understand these 9 principles and have an overview whether these 9 principles are properly disclosed or not. Then go for on-site assessment and verification of ESG reports. So whatever data is there, go and visit the office on site and see the documentary things available. Documentary things available, visual things available, their factories, their employees, their products. Then issue assessment report and assessment statement. Assessment report and assessment statement. Then review of response and clarification finding. Once you issue draft reports, you will get the response and clarification. Submission of findings on the submission of the finding on the on-site assessment and document review. Preparation of the assessment and verification report, including final results of assessment and recommendation. Let's see guys, it's a pretty simple thing. So overall what they're saying is, when you go for checking BRSR report, first common sense, first understand the BRSR 9 principles. Once you understand them, then have an overview of this BRSR report, ESG report. Then you go, once you see that, when you go for on-site assessment and verification, whatever data is given, go and talk to people, do inquiry about it, do see documents about it, go for physically see things. Okay, then you discuss the findings. Then when you also discuss the findings, then you issue the assessment reports and statements. Okay, you go give the findings, then whatever are their responses, you listen to those responses, then you issue your assessment report and assessment statement. Okay guys, let's see once again, it's very simple. Now these points are there, but look at the logical flow. Logical flow is going to be important. First you talk about understanding the 9 principles, then you talk about preliminary review, then you talk about on-site visits and verification, then you talk about findings, then you talk about communicating the findings, then you talk about communicating findings, then you're getting the responses, then making the final report and the assessment, final assessment report and assessment statement, and then giving it to everyone, the final results. Okay, so guys, think about that. So the oral flow which I just said is more important. That's easy to remember, easy to retain, and easy to write about. The role, second last question guys, auditor's role on ESG aspects. What is his role in ESG? Why we have involved auditor in the whole process? This is the role. Okay. So auditor's general objective is to give opinion on financial statement, whether they are as per applicable framework, whether financial statements are as per applicable framework, whether they give true and fair view. Okay, so that is our ultimate objective. But they need to understand, stakeholders want more. They just don't want to know about the financial performance. They want to know about the sustainable performance also. So understand that they are expecting more from the auditor. Auditor is very knowledgeable. He understands the industry, the entity, its systems, everything. He knows how information is generated. So people are expecting more things from us. That's a fact. People are expecting us to play an important role so that we mitigate the climate change, the climate risk. That today Earth is facing this problem of climate change. So they want auditors to play an important role to ensure that we mitigate the climate risk. So it's very simple. We know our objectives, but people are expecting more from us. Now, in general, auditor reads the complete annual report. We know that it's other information in SA 720. He reads other information a lot, and then he tries to see whether financial information, other information, they're consistent with each other. So somehow auditor is always reading all these informations. The auditor's report communicates about the audit and the auditor's responsibility, significant address. The emphasis of matter draws attention to crucial disclosure. Now, auditor in general keeps watching, keeps seeing whether all the important things are disclosed in financial statements. He puts emphasis of matter paragraph, and impact on the climate and its impact on the entity is very important thing. So somehow it is again connected to it. So right now across the globe, momentum is there about sustainable development. People are trying to make it uniform across the globe, just like we have IFRS and India. There's uniformity, there's a trend, there's a demand, there's overall international demand, there's a momentum, there's a uniformity. And this is the opportunity for auditors, that apart from doing audit of financial statements, we do audit for these things also. So guys, broadly explain first thing. Apart from regular objective, people are expecting more from us. They want us to play an important role. And as such, we read everything. When we talk about consistency, we talk about other information and their consistency. We always think about it whether entity has disclosed all the important things. We put an EMP. This is also important thing. So, and then you talk, there's a global demand, there's a trend, there's a momentum, there's uniformity, and auditor should play an important role. So overall, you explain these 4 broad points. That will be good enough, guys. We can expect a question of 5 marks. At least 5-mark question should be there from this, and it can be one of these questions. Benefits of sustainable reporting, guys. Benefits of the sustainable reporting. What are benefits of sustainable reporting? Sustainable reporting in organization and organization practice of reporting publicly on economic, environmental, social impact, and hence its contribution, positives or negatives. So first to explain what is sustainable reporting. Sustainable reporting, that means reporting about ESG. What is the environment impact of the organization, social impact of the organization, and how good is their governance, how they're governing the entity. So it is, so this reporting is, we are reporting our performance to outside world in a structured way. It is a comprehensive mechanism of measuring and disclosing. Okay, so the first 2 paragraphs talks about that. It simply talks about what is sustainable, what is sustainable reporting. So we are reporting about 3 things. It helps stakeholders to understand organization performance vis-a-vis sustainable. Not a very great answer. Sustainable and impacts. The reporting process emphasizes the link between financial and non-financial performance. So because of sustainable, people also understand what they're doing for society at large, what is their financial performance, non-financial performance, and so on. So it's not a very great answer, but it's by the institute. We cannot deny it. Simply explain what is sustainable development, and it's more information to people. That's it, guys. More information to people. That's the ultimate thing they're talking about. That's the ultimate thing, guys. We are through with chapter number 18, and now we are starting with chapter number 19, and that is professional ethics. Guys, generally students are good in professional ethics. I'm going to tell you the overall how to answer it. First, you need to give reference of we know, you all must be aware. First, there are sections of CA Act, some important sections of CA Act. Then we have first schedule. First schedule, there are 4 parts and then clauses into that. Then we have second schedule, there are 3 parts, and then there are again clauses. So let me tell you, the first important thing is to refer to the section number and exact the clause number. Yes, referring to clause number is extremely important. Extremely important. We have developed shortcuts. We have developed very good, specific, lovely shortcuts to so that you can remember the clause numbers as it is. You can remember the clause numbers as it is. When it comes to English, we have an English channel, and if you give previous times our FADU revision, we have given the shortcuts. I will do one thing. I will try to incorporate those shortcuts. I will give you in the description about those shortcuts. Okay, you can remember all the clauses of professional ethics easily with the help of those shortcuts. Okay, so first thing is to give reference. Then you go and explain what is the content. What is the content of that section or clause or requirements. Then you discuss the case and then you give conclusion. So if you try to write it in the 4 parts, it will be good, guys. And then please understand, this professional ethics is not DT or IDT. Okay, this is not DT, IDT, this is not law. You cannot go for verbatim, word by word interpretation. No. You need to understand the feel. What thing is, you need to get the feel. Okay, what is the overall objective of the clause? That feel is important, number one. And then there is a pattern. There is a pattern. Okay, institute has issued a lot of clarification. If the clarification is given under clause 6, you have to apply clause 6. Even if there are certain things of clause 7, clause 8, clause 9 that is not relevant. So understand, this is the most important thing. Understand the overall objective of that clause, that is one. And second, and in fact the most important from the first one also, understand the pattern. If clarification is under clause 6, it will go in clause 6. If clarification is under clause 7, it will go in clause 7. So sir, this is the pattern. This is how they have answered. Don't unnecessarily complicate your life. Okay, and in our notes we have what we have done. Everyone does. Clause 6 we have made a shortcut for clause 6. For clause 7 we have made shortcut. So we have put all the clarification in respective clauses and we have given ways of remembering it. Okay, so you have to do that, guys. It's very important you understand the pattern, and then you have to do multiple goes and remember that pattern. That's the way to deal with it. It's more about the patterns, of what falls under which category than interpretation. If you try to become an interpretation champion, it will be a miserable life in professional things. If you understand the pattern and you go with the pattern, you will love it, you will enjoy it, and you will be cracking the cases properly. Our question bank must be having around 150-175 questions. Okay, so last time we made a 3-hour video covering all 150 questions. In description I will give you that also. It may not be having the new questions which we have added, but then it is going to be a very, very effective video. So I will give you that also. And let's see, guys. So we have less time, a lot of questions. Now I will be hitting on the core concept. So the first question is on portfolio management services. Understand, it's very pretty simple. There is a management consultancy services. There is a list. Management consultancy services, there is a list. Okay. And what is the impact of the list? All the chartered accountants in practice can do it. Whatever is given here, apart from our traditional accounting, auditing, taxation and finance, we can do these things. So chartered accountants in practice can do these things. That also means we can do this much only, not go beyond it. Okay. And the second implication is, all the chartered accountants who are doing it, they will be deemed to be in practice. So this list is beautiful. Existing chartered accountant practice can do it, and those who are doing it will be deemed to be in practice. There are two very important implications. Now in this list, they have said that you can give investment consultancy. You can give investment consultancy, and they have specifically written. They specifically written that a chartered accountant in practice cannot go for portfolio management services, cannot go for brokership, cannot become broker, cannot go for underwriting. So it's very simple, guys. A chartered accountant in practice cannot go for these 3 things. If he is doing it, it is contravention of section 2. Subsection 2, clause 4, it is contravention of MCS. So here exactly they are talking. So a list is provided, and in that specifically they have said that you cannot do these three things. You cannot do these three things. So if any chart accountant in practice is doing it, it's a contravention, it's a non-compliance, and the person will be punished for it. Okay. So if you want to do these three things, portfolio management services and underwriting and brokership, just don't be in practice. Leave your COP, everything will be fine. Let's freeze. So if doing these three things are not allowed for CA in practice, otherwise it's a misconduct. There's a non-compliance. Recruitment services. Recruitment services fall in management consultancy services. Fall in management consult services. So chartered accountant in practice can go for it, absolutely fine. So if he is giving recruitment services to client, he is giving ads, arranging interviews, doing interviews, selecting people, giving them orientation, training them, designing their packages, everything is absolutely fine. We can give recruitment services, it is allowed. See, I am giving the crux. I am giving the crux of each and every case. Okay. So that way it is going to be a revision also. Now, suspension of practice. For some reason, if your COP is suspended, what will happen? Once a person becomes chartered accountant, he can do all the professional work, he can give professional work, all the professional services only in a capacity of a chartered accountant. Only in a capacity of a chartered accountant, he can give accounting, auditing, taxation, finance and other services. He is bound by CA Act. We can only use that capacity. He cannot say that I am a company secretary also, so I am doing work in capacity of company secretary. I am doing something in capacity of a lawyer. I am doing something in a capacity of something else. No. You cannot use other capacities. You can use only one capacity, as CA capacity. That means if your COP is suspended for that much time because your main capacity is suspended, which you are supposed to use, you cannot provide tax services, you cannot provide GST services. Very simple. That's the crux of that case. We have explained that in detail. I will also give the reference of the video. 150 questions we have done in 3 hours. That's wonderful. That can be useful. So I will be giving two shortcuts there in your description. Then effect of insolvency on CA membership. Effect of insolvency. Beautiful case. Let's discuss about that. Very important. A new case, guys. It's a new case. Effect of insolvency on CA membership. Okay. Okay. So I've written something here in our, and it's very good to understand that when a person is not able to pay off his liabilities, when a person is not able to pay the liabilities, can go to the court and prove this, he will be declared insolvent. So you can go to court and explain that I am not able to pay my liabilities, the person will be declared insolvent. Then he can request the court to take control of the assets, sell them and pay the creditors. Okay, and once court does it, that okay, we have sold all your assets, we have paid all the liabilities, we have kept only few things with you so that you can continue living, the person is called discharge insolvent. When this process is done, it's called discharge insolvent. At the time of getting discharged, if you get the certificate that this insolvency happened because of misfortune, your bad luck, okay, you can get a misfortune certificate. So first person goes to court and he is declared as insolvent. After assets are sold, liabilities paid, he is called discharge insolvent. then he may or may not get a misfortune certificate. So what section 8 says that if you become insolvent, you are disqualified. You are disqualified. Then if you are undischarged insolvent, you are disqualified. If you are discharged insolvent, you are still disqualified. Only if you have a misfortune certificate, then you come out of disqualification, then you are not disqualified. So during the complete process, initial process insolvent, you are disqualified. If you are undischarged, you are disqualified. If you are discharged, you are disqualified. Only when you get misfortune certificate, then you will be eligible. So in this case, there is a natural calamity and misfortune during the year 2021. He lost almost all his wealth, became undischarged insolvent. After few courts hearing 2023, he is declared discharged insolvent and obtained a certificate from the court that it was because of misfortune. Without any professional misconduct on his part. You are required to comment on the above situation. You need to first tell about the section 8, that it says that if you becomes insolvent, you are disqualified. If you are undischarged insolvent, you are disqualified till the time proceedings go on. Once you are discharged, still you are disqualified. Only when you are having misfortune certificate, you are out of disqualification. Explain section 8 and then you explain here. Moment he got in 2021, he became insolvent, he will be disqualified. He is remaining undischarged, he will be disqualified. Declared discharged, he will be disqualified. Only when he obtained the misfortune certificate in 2023, he will be out of the disability and again he can become the member. First time they have drafted case on this point. First time they have drafted case on this point. That's a lovely case. They have explained section 8. Then they have discussed the case and they have clearly explained that is having misfortune certificate, everything is fine. So guys, it's a new case, it's a lovely case. Then you talk about other misconduct. Discuss about other, it's an old case guys, it's an old case when you talk about other misconduct. So you know that we have first schedule and second schedule. First schedule 3 parts. If you do these things, it's a professional misconduct. Second schedule, first 2 parts. If you do these things, other professional misconduct. First schedule, 4th part, and second schedule, 3rd part. If you do these things, it will be other misconduct. So, other misconduct. So, we can say that other misconduct is of 2 types. First, which is defined in the schedules. Now, even if something is not defined in the schedules, institute can go and investigate things and tell if it is in bad taste and nature, it's bad, bringing disrepute to the institute, they can declare it as a other misconduct. So you can say that we have other misconduct which is defined in the schedules, and apart from that, over a period of time, institute has declared many behavior and activities as other misconduct. It is as per past decided cases. So there are 2 sources of other misconduct. One is as per the clauses and one is as per the past cases. Okay. I don't expect a theory question, guys. I don't expect a theory question here. So shortcut is given to you guys. What I have done is, for the past cases, I have made a shortcut A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, it is in your notes also. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A for anger. A for anger and article, B for bank, C for client, D for deceiving, E for employer, F for fraud, G for government. So, and I have associated other misconduct cases with that. Quickly, if in anger you use derogatory language, abusive language, other misconduct. In anger, you are maligning image of people, putting advertisement in newspaper, other misconduct. If you are using article for any other business, other than for running other occupational business, that's a wrong thing. Article should only do CA practice related thing. Other misconduct. Then banks, giving bogus bill to banks to claim the reimbursement, other misconduct. Then clients, using coercive methods coercive methods, using our coercive methods for getting the loans, wrong, other misconduct. Then again coercion for fees, other misconduct. Not giving books of accounts back, other misconduct. So coercion to get loan, other misconduct. Coercion to get fees, other misconduct. Retaining their books, not giving it back, other misconduct. So deceiving, you're going to company and manipulating their minutes, other misconduct. Then you're giving fake documents to them, other misconduct. You're coming back to your office, issuing fake experience certificate, other misconduct. You're going back home, forged will, other misconduct. So you're going to a client, doing two wrong things, other misconduct. Coming to your office, giving fake experience certificate, going back home, other misconduct. So if you're deceiving into the client, deceiving in your office, and deceiving at your home, it's other misconduct. Employer, fake experience certificate, gross negligence, other misconduct. Okay. Fraud from ICI fund, other misconduct. Your checks are getting bounced, other misconduct. So fraud. Government, not replying to government, other misconduct. You are having confidential document of government, other misconduct. Black money book, other misconduct. Two returns, other misconduct. Fabricating challans so that refund is diverted to your account, other misconduct. So guys, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can use this shortcut. As I said, use this shortcut. It's a beautiful shortcut, but because of lack of time, I'm not able to explain in detail and connect everything. This is a good shortcut for other misconduct. It is given in the notes also, guys. Yeah, in your question bank also. Okay. So let's see. Next is separate branch in charge. So we know a very simple thing. Section 27. You can open branches, but there should be a separate branch in charge should be there. Okay, separate branch in charge should be there. In that there is one exemption about the second office. If second office is within the city, it is exempted. If it is in the same complex, exempted. Same city, exempted. If it is within 50 kilometers, from the municipal limits of the city, not from the office, municipal limits of the city, again it is exempted. Okay. Now they write that the second office is 80 kilometers away from the existing office. From the existing office, they should have given distance from the municipal limits. We assume that okay, they wanted to say about it, they have not written properly. We assume that this 80 kilometers is from municipal limits. We don't have any other option. So if it is 80 kilometers away, the exemption of second office is not available. Exemption of second office is not available. We will need a separate in charge. We'll need a separate in charge, and the separate in charge should be a chartered accountant. The separate in charge should be a chartered accountant. Okay. Now, separate in charge should be a chartered accountant, should be associated as a partner or employee. The person should be a chartered accountant, associated as a partner or employee, must be a whole-time employee. If paid assistant, he should be a full-time employee. So very simple, he should be a chartered accountant, either a partner or employee, and should be actively associated. Should be actively associated. What do you mean by active association? Okay, either he should be from the same city, or he should attend office at least 182 days in a year. Okay, so that's a very important thing. Now here, so it is 80 kilometers away. They are not having a second office exemption. That means there should be a separate in charge. They're putting income tax officers. No, the person should be a chartered accountant. Income tax officer won't be allowed. Person should be a chartered accountant, guys. Then sometimes they use the word suburbs. Sometimes they use the word suburbs of Chennai. Now they are not giving the distance. Again, we need to put the assumption. Suburbs of Chennai, we need to put assumption. We'll take the assumptions that it is beyond 50 kilometers. It is beyond 50 kilometers, and then in that case, again, we need chartered accountants. Income tax commissioner, retired income tax commissioner is not going to help. So very simple, guys. So whenever there is ambiguity and no proper wordings, assume it is more than 50 kilometers from the municipal limits. That's the first assumption. And then you say a second exemption is not applicable. Chartered accountant, these guys are not chartered accountants. Okay, the person should be only chartered accountant, not necessarily in practice. Should be only chartered accountant, either as a partner or as an employee, and third is active association. There should be 3 requirements. I have given the note also for that. We have given note also. X and Y company, a firm of chartered accountant having 2 partners, X and Y. One is in charge of the head office, another in charge of a branch at distance of 80 kilometers. Puts the name board of the firm in both premises and also respective residences. Now that is where things went wrong. Having 2 partners is fine. There's no problem. Any number of partners. Then one is in head office and one is in charge of branch. Absolutely fine. But you are not supposed to put board of the firm at residence. Simply put board of your individual name and not. So that is where things are going wrong. In clarification, okay, they have clarified about the name board usage. The council decided that there is no restriction on displaying name board at members' residence with title of chartered accountant. Simply, this is absolutely fine. At residence, you put your name, and with the title chartered accountant, it is absolutely fine. But there should not be a firm name. So here they are going wrong. So last word, be careful. Here they are going wrong. Putting name on the residences, professional misconduct. Guys, I'm just focusing on the key, the root cause of the cases, root thing of the cases. Okay. So this is a case in study material 23. This is the case. Chartered account in practice allowed brother-in-law, his brother-in-law, Mr. who is not a chartered accountant, in practice to practice in the name of CSC. He also allowed Mr. T, who is employee in his firm, to practice in the name. Whether Mr. C is correct in following his brother-in-law, Mr. T, and Mr. T, employee of the firm, to practice in the name. So we have first schedule, part 1, clause 1, and we say that a person who can practice on behalf of a chartered accountant practice. That person who can sit in his office and do practice should be a chartered accountant in practice. And should be associated either as a partner or as an employee. Okay. So in this case, brother-in-law, it's absolutely wrong, and only employee is absolutely wrong. Both the cases, it's absolutely wrong. Okay, employee could have been fine if the person would have been CA in practice. Give reference, tell the clause, discuss the case, give the conclusions. It's not, it is against, it's a professional misconduct. So first time they are targeting this particular clause, but it's a very simple case. Okay. So clause number 2, can we pay share of the fees? Can we pay share of the fees? Let's see, guys. So can we pay share of the fees? So can you pay share of the fees to your article? To your article, can you pay share of the fees to article? Can you pay share of the fees in the name of allowance or whatever name to your employee? Mr. A qualified and experienced registered valuer. Can you pay share of the fees to a registered valuer? To a registered valuer. Okay. Let's see, guys. Let's see the clause. Let's see, guys. We have clause number 2. We have clause number 2, and it clearly explains to whom we can pay. It clearly explains to whom we can pay. Okay. So we can pay to our partners. Okay, our partner points. We can pay to our partners, retired partners, legal representative of the deceased partner. Now, when it comes to articles, employees, they are not our partners. When it comes to registered valuer, not the partner. Fine. Then members. Then members rated points. Members rated points. If you are then members, you can share your fees with two types of members: members of Indian professional bodies and members of foreign professional bodies. A list is given out. Indian professional bodies, you can share fees with them. Foreign professional bodies, you can share fees with them. Okay. Now, when you talk about again articles, employees, they are not members of any professional bodies. It is not specified. And even the registered valuer, whether can we say that now again registered valuer is not falling in any list, whether it is Indian professional bodies or foreign professional bodies. Foreign professional bodies. And then qualifications, are you having prescribed qualification? So you can share your fees with three partner related people, Indian professional bodies and foreign professional bodies. A list is given, and people having qualifications. So there's a list of Indian professional bodies, then foreign professional bodies with whom we have MOUs and MRA, and then okay, guys, we are back. So very simple thing. So it is not falling in any other list. Even the registered valuer is not falling in any other list. So sharing with registered valuer is not allowed. Guys. Keep that in mind. Now next is about digital marketers. Let's understand. So newly qualified chartered accountant started his practice and sought clients through telephone calls. He's soliciting people, telephone calls, sought clients through telephone calls from his family and friends. So he's calling people and asking for work. Okay. So he's doing that. That's a misconduct under clause 6. Then one of the friends, Mr. Ravi, gave him an idea to start online service and give stock certification to traders with cash sheet limits in banks. started website with colorful catchy designs and shared the website address on his social media posts. Giving online services is absolutely fine. Okay, online services is absolutely fine. Having a website of catchy is absolutely fine. But then website address, you are pushing it everywhere, you're promoting it, you're putting on social media, that's not fine. You're tagging 40 traders, that's not fine. So calling is not fine. Posting the name everywhere is not fine. Now guys, website related things, so in old model it happened that website related things were given below clause 6. So if you see all the website related things, they have always referred clause 6. Now that is what I was talking about, the pattern. This is the pattern, guys. We cannot do anything about it. There are separate website guidelines. So when you use website, you always refer clause 6. You again refer the website guidelines also. So having website is fine, online service is fine, but then promoting is not fine. Then digital marketer giving 8% commission. So that's not fine. So there is a misconduct. Calling people is a misconduct under clause 6. Then tagging and promoting website is misconduct under clause 6 and website guidelines. And then sharing is also misconduct under clause 2. Sharing fees is misconduct. Guys, they have referred only clause 6. They have referred only clause 6. Okay, they have not referred clause 2. So such things happen with the institute, absolutely fine. You should refer both clause 6 also, and then you should refer clause 2 also. Again guys, because of lack of time, we are focusing on the key points and the crux of the cases. And as I said, if you want a complete 150 thing, I am going to give it in the description. You can go through that also. So advocates, sharing fees with each other. Okay, partnership with advocates. Mr. P, not sharing fees, partnership. In fact, need to enter into partnership with Mr. L advocate for sharing fees for works and by one to other. Some dispute, the partnership was dissolved after 1 month without fee. So thing is about partnership with advocates. So we are talking about it. So when you go through clause number 4, they say that you can have partnership with professionals, Indian professional bodies. You can have partnership with members of Indian professional bodies and members of foreign professional bodies also. And advocates are covered in that list. Advocates are covered in that list. So it's absolutely fine to have partnership agreement with them. And then it is absolutely fine to share fees with them and accept share of the fees from them. You can refer clause 4. Apart from that, you can refer clause 2 and 3 also. Having partnership with advocates is absolutely fine. Paying share of the fees to them is absolutely fine. Accepting share of the fees is absolutely fine. Guys, you need to give the reference of clause, the clause, and then the clarifications given the clause, then discuss the case, and then you go for the conclusion. I'm just hitting on the key and the crux. Advertisement, opening ceremony. Published a newspaper containing photograph of Mr. X, a member of the institute, when he was congratulated on the occasion of opening ceremony of his office. Such kind of advertisement is not allowed. You cannot solicit clients directly, indirectly through advertisements. That is not allowed under clause 6. Professional misconduct. Even if the advertisement is given by others like relatives and friends, he will be held guilty. You cannot say that it is given by others. Okay, you need to tell everyone this is not allowed. Otherwise, everyone will start doing it. So you will be held responsible and punished if someone else also does it. And to be very honest, no one is going to put 25-50K just like that. Okay. Published a book and gave his personal details as author. Also meant professional experiences and present association as a partner of a firm. Guys, very important thing, student get confused out here. Writing book is absolutely fine. Writing book is absolutely fine. Putting your name is absolutely fine. Putting your firm name is absolutely fine. In recent clarification, they have said that putting the firm name is absolutely fine, guys. But the problem is with professional attainments. If you're highlighting your professional attainments, that is not allowed. That is not allowed. Okay. Now, that is not allowed, guys. So keep that in mind. It is not allowed. So writing book is clause number 11. We are allowed to write books. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Now, guys, so student gets confused here. So professional attainment is clause number 7. Now, let me tell you guys, the clarification of writing name of the firm on the book, this clarification was issued under clause 6. So clause 6 will get applicable. This is the pattern I was talking about. People get hell confused in clause 6 and 7. Don't run behind words and interpretation. Unfortunately, don't run behind names and interpretations in clause 6 and 7. There's a list of clause 6, apply clause 6. There's a list of clause 7, apply clause 7. That's it. Very simple, straightforward. Have a beautiful shortcut. Revise it again and again. Revise it before the exam. Clause 6 clarification, apply clause 6, clause 7, clause apply clause 7. No confusion at all. Very easy to. I have done loads of research on it, and then at the end I have come to this conclusion. So regarding firm name of books was there in clause 6. You apply the clause 6 and you talk about clause 6 only. Otherwise, someone will say that it is a clause 7. But that's not how professional ethics cases work. It works as per the clarification issued over a period of time for past so many 60, 70 years. Now, during a TV interview, a biodata of the firm was given to chairperson, and the biodata was all the standing of international firm, all the achievements, professional achievements, and so on. Now, guys, see the author's note. That's very important. If there is any reference to the word interview, go for clause 6. Clarification with respect to interview is given in clause 6, where the firm name is allowed but not highlighting and professional and publicity. Very important. So if there is an interview word, go for clause 6. Firm name is allowed, guys. Firm name is allowed, but then professional attainments is not allowed. Guilty under clause 6. If there is any appearance in programs of television and radios, appearance, firm name is not allowed. Appearance, you are simply, if it is not an interview, you are appearing in a program, on a reality show or something like that. What the hell? You cannot put the firm name. That doesn't make sense. It's not logical. If question specify TV interview, apply clause 6. We have specific clarification about public interviews. Okay. If there's an appearance in programs, television, radio, then we have clause 7. It is governed by clause 7. So guys, it's about clarification. Have a beautiful short. We have a beautiful shortcut for clause 6, beautiful shortcut of clause 7. Simply use that and apply that. Now, representation by CA. Next is repression of CA under Companies Act. Now, it's again a beautiful case. A special notice has been issued and incorporated as independent submit representation. Listen, guys. We all know that when an auditor is removed, he can send a representation letter. He can letter of representation. He can put his point of view. He can go for representation letter. The retiring auditor has right for his representation to be circulated among the members of the company and to be read out in the meeting. However, The content of letter should be set out in a dignified manner. He has been acting independently and carefully throughout the term. In addition, indicate if so he chooses to willingness to continue as auditor. He simply need to explain that first, dignity is important, that he has been working independently and carefully, and whether he's willing to get reappointed. Okay, it is absolutely fine in this. If in the it is so, he has right to present his point of view. Simply explain dignified manner. He was independent. He worked carefully, conscientiously, carefully, and he's willing to get reappointed. That's it. If he highlights his professional attainments, then it is going to be bad. If he explains how good he was in working, then he is going to attract professional misconduct. If he abuses people, then misconduct. Only limited information is allowed. Only and only limited information. Very important, guys. A roving inquiry, we know about it. It's very simple. It's a clarification under clause. See, it's very simple. I'm not focusing on interpretation of the interpretation of the wordings of clause 6. No, I know it's a clarification of clause 6. You apply clause 6. It is as simple as that. So don't confuse yourself in this. So sent letters to the Goods and Service Tax Council stating that firm has 2 partners. So if you are writing letters to people that I am such a big expert, and if you want services taken from us, so irrespective of whether people need any service or not, irrespective of whether authorities are asking for any service or not, you are putting letters to everyone and going for roving inquiry. It is a professional misconduct under clause 6. Give the reference, give the clause, give the clarification about roving inquiry, discuss the case, and he will be guilty. So I've explained. Okay, I gave clarification also for that. Mr. Honest, a chartered accountant in practice, wrote 2 letters to XY chartered accountants, a firm of CAs. Honest chartered accountant in practice wrote 2 letters to Mrs. XY chartered accountant, a firm of CAs, requesting them to allot him some professional work. As he did not have significant practice client. Also wrote letters to HF for securing professional work. Another CA inform ICA regarding it. You can always, this is exception. You can always go to other CA in practice. It is absolutely fine. It is allowed. You can always go to other chartered accountant in practice. It is covered in the exceptions of clause 6. Guys, as I said again, I'm just focusing on the crux. I'm not going in detail. Element, a firm of chartered account responded to tender from state government for computerization of land revenue records. For this, the firm also paid 50,000 as earnest deposit as a part of terms of the tender. So when it comes to tender, you have to see. Whether it is for exclusive areas or non-exclusive areas. If they are specially reserved for chartered accountants, okay, minimum fee should be prescribed in the tender, and minimum fee should be there. And if it is for non-exclusive areas, and further, it should not ask for excessive deposits also. If it is exclusive for chartered accountant, no minimum fees and no requirement of excessive deposit. Non-exclusive areas, okay, then absolutely fine if there is no minimum fees, absolutely fine if they're asking for reasonable deposit. So we can definitely go for it. It is computerization of land revenue. This is a very general assignment. It is open for everyone. We can apply even if there's no minimum fees. We can apply if there's a reasonable deposit requirement. Absolutely fine. We should go for it. No problem at all. Created website xyzindia.com. The website beside containing details of firm and biodata of the partner, also can photograph of all the partners of the firm. Okay, so making a website is absolutely fine, and making on the name of the firm is making a website is absolutely fine. Name of the firm is absolutely fine. Details of the firm is absolutely fine. Details of the partner is absolutely fine. Photographs is absolutely fine. When it comes to photograph, it should be passport size photograph. They have not specified it. So we have assumed that it is a passport size photograph. Refer clause 6, refer website guidelines. It is absolutely fine with everything, and we have assumed. Now further, instead of using the passport size word, they use the word passport style. So you can always use the word passport style. Passport style is absolutely fine, guys. Passport style means there should be a white background. That's the passport style. Having website on attractive format, absolutely fine. Any color, absolutely fine. Circulating the information containing the website through email to acknowledge public at large about his expertise, not intimating. Okay, guys. Having website is absolutely fine. Any kind of attractive format is absolutely fine. Colors is absolutely fine. Circulating name of the website everywhere, having an article and sending the link everywhere to read it, that is not fine at all. That is not fine at all. Okay. And further, we don't need any permission from the ICai to make website, and there is no immediate intimation also about website. So guys, the circulation thing went wrong. That circulation thing went wrong. Then in next, name of the client is not allowed. Name of the client is not allowed unless it is required by a regulator in specific circumstances. You can give the name and along with that clarification. Circulation is not absolutely fine. Name. So there is a complete website guidelines. Clause 6 is there, guys. Clause 6 is there, and it says that no names of the client, no circulation, no names of the client, no circulation is allowed. Then push technology and pull. You can get your website registered with Google, absolutely fine. If someone searches for CA practice, CAs in India, absolutely fine. That's a pull technology. There's a pull technology. You cannot put sponsored ads and push your name ahead on the first page of the Google. You cannot push, that is not allowed. Push technology, giving money for the doing digital ads and pushing your website ahead in the name is not allowed. Name of the major clients is not allowed. So two things they are going wrong. Name of the clients, and push technology, that is where they are going wrong. Regarding name of the clients, if it is required by regulator, then that is allowed. Give the reference of the regulator for which, but then here there is no requirement of regulator. In India, I don't know. I have not come across that. Then the next is online coaching. Plans to provide coaching to CA students. Online, taking advantage of fresh reservoir of knowledge. Therefore, he advertises his classes on various social media platforms. Comment with reference to Chartered Accountant Act 1949 and schedules there too. Okay. So, first of all, can a chartered accountant in practice can go for teaching? Okay. So very simple. This point is covered in clause 11. This point is covered in clause 11. when it comes to private tutorship, teaching few people, it comes in general permission. It comes in general permission, few people. But if you want to do it on large, if you want to do it under any banner, under any brand, under any organization, you need a specific permission. Specific permission, okay? And if it is beyond 25 hours a week, then you will be considering part-time practice. So part-time practice, so give reference of clause 11, in that give reference of regulation 190A. There's a general permission for private tutorship, and if you want to teach under a banner, under an organization on a bigger level, then you go for a specific permission is required. Okay. Then advertising, then there's a clarification. So first talk about clause 11. Clause 11, and in that, now they have not specified enough whether he's going for any banner or not. But then we assume that he's going for a large scale, he's trying to teach many people. A specific permission was required. So under clause number 11, specific permission was required. So that is clause 11. Then clause 6. Institute has given a clarification. Institute has given a clarification in this regarding coaching classes, that only a board of coaching classes is allowed, where subjects are given. Name of the chartered accountant should not come. Those who are in practice, name of the chartered accountant should not come. Okay. So this advertisement, name of the chartered accountant in any hoarding or publicity material, social media, it is not allowed. So he is guilty of professional misconduct. Professional misconduct. They have not focused on clause 11, but I will say that if he is going for the, okay, is going for large scale, even permission was required under clause 11, there is a misconduct. He is going for advertisement, is not allowed, there is a misconduct. People will ask, sir, you are violating, we are violating clause 11 and clause 6 both. Yeah, that's a fact, and many of us are. But then it's not practical. If I don't tell my name, how can I reach out to students? So there's a practical problem out here, and institute also knows it. So they are not implementing it. If they start implementing it, okay, there's a lot of chartered accountants in teaching, they will leave their COP. Moment you leave your COP, you are free from a lot of things. Okay. So institute doesn't want that. Can you say yourself cost accountant? No. You can always give reference of section 7 also and clause 7 also. Cost accountant, answer is no. Can you say yourself insolvency professional? Answer is yes. Okay. You can put designation chartered accountant. A chartered accountant, that's absolutely fine. You can put designation if it is recognized by law and government. Okay, so this is recognized by law and government. It is recognized by law and government. This particular designation, this particular thing is recognized by law and government. You can always write insolvency professional. Very, very important. Always write insolvency professional. It is allowed. Guys, again, I am hitting on the key points. I am not going in detail. Can you write name of the 4 firms? Absolutely fine. There's no problem. You can be partner in multiple firms. And in one card, you can say that you are partner in multiple firms. Absolutely fine. There is no, you are not breaching any principle. You are simply saying the fact. Absolutely fine. Will not be guilty. Now, you are supposed to, whenever a new assignment is offered, first you are supposed to communicate to the previous auditor, wait for the reasonable time, and then accept the assignment. Okay. starting the work first and then communicating is misconduct under clause 8. It's a misconduct under clause 8. Okay. Further, there is a clarification. Further, there is a clarification if they are doing government audits and there's a tight time schedule. Again, you have to always communicate before. But instead of waiting for reasonable time, you can say that subject to communication which I may receive, I'm starting my work. So if there is a government audit related assignments, there's a tight time schedule. Again, you have to communicate first. There's only exemption. You don't have to wait for reasonable time. You can give conditional acceptance. So keep that in mind, guys. Always communicating first is always a requirement. That is always a requirement of communicating first. And then only then when it comes to waiting for reasonable time, if you're doing government audit related assignments, there is an exemption. You can go for conditional acceptance. You can go for conditional acceptance. Certificate of posting. Okay. When you communicate, you cannot send a simple post. When you communicate, you cannot send a simple post. Certificate of posting, that means simple post. That's not allowed. It has to be RPAD, registered post acknowledgement due. Registered post acknowledgement due. That is the mode of medium which is allowed. Okay. A list of mode is given. It can be a hand delivery. It can be a hand delivery. So in specific here, the point of RPAD is irrelevant. Registered post acknowledgement due is allowed. Okay. There are a lot of good clarifications with respect to emails, and a lot of good clarifications in clause 8. You should go through that. Okay. Not relevant in this particular, but here simple certificate of posting or RPAD is allowed. Lot of good clarifications are there in clause 8. You should think about that. You should go through that. What if the office is locked? What if the address is not proper? And so on. Those clarifications are given, guys. Right now we are focusing because this video will be used on the last day also. So I'm just focusing on the important things. So before you there's a clause 9. Before you accept any assignment, you need to ensure that removal of the earlier person was proper and your appointment is appropriate. Then only you should go and accept the assignment. In case of company audits, ensure that removal of the previous person and your appointment is appropriate. Then only go for that. So there's a November 23 mock. This case is there. So it's very simple thing. He received appointment letter. Duly signed by board of directors and a resolution of audit committee. Mr. Sunil, a simple letter is received from board of directors. He accepted. Within a day he accepted. He got the letter, he accepted. Then he had the meeting with the old auditor. What is the reason? Reason for resignation. The old auditor has resigned. The board has filed ADT 1. Mr. Sunil, after performing audit, issued an audit report. The registrar, after issuance of the audit report, sumo to initiate the inquiry regarding the appointment of Mr. Sunil as auditor of the company. After the registrar issued a report to ICAI wherein it was mentioned should be held guilty of professional misconduct. You are required to guide Mr. Sunil with respect to the recommendation of the registrar. Okay. So guys, first of all, you should have knowledge of Companies Act. Okay. If there is a if there is a resignation. If there is a resignation, then there is a casual vacancy. Section 139 subsection 8 is applicable. There is a resignation. In that, okay, appointment is proposed. Appointment is proposed. But then proposed by board of directors, it is absolutely fine. Within 30 days, within 30 days, it should be proposed by board of directors. But then within 3 months, that appointment should be approved by shareholders. Within 3 months, it should be approved by shareholders. That's a very important thing. It should have been approved by shareholders. Okay, so the appointment here is not appropriate. After board of directors resolution, within 3 months, it should be approved by shareholders. Then only appointment is confirmed. Secondly, again, first, you cannot directly go and accept things. First, you need to communicate, understand, and then you can go for acceptance. So it's a guilty under clause 8 that you have not communicated before accepting. And next, you have not ensured that your appointment is appropriate. Appointment is not appropriate. It is not as per Companies Act. So guilty under clause 8 also, and guilty under clause 9 also. So they have discussed, guys, I am focusing on the crux. There are 70 odd cases and there is less time. I am focusing on the crux of the cases. Then fees on percentage basis. Then fees on percentage basis is very important, guys. 1% of the credit facility. Okay, 10% of the loan approved. So here clause 10 is applicable. Here clause 10 is applicable, guys, and clause 10 is applicable, and regulation 192 is relevant, guys. Clause 10 is applicable. Clause 10 is applicable. Regulation 192 is relevant here, guys, and in that there's a exemption that certain financial services you can charge on percentage basis, but then the list of certain financial services is not yet given. List of certain financial services is not yet given, guys. So as on today, charging 1% of credit facility, 10% of loan approved is not allowed. It is not allowed. It is not allowed, guys. Okay. Then liquidator, can a liquidator charge on percentage basis? Yes. It is under exemption. Okay, guys. It is exempted. You can definitely charge on if it is liquidation, you can charge on percentage basis. It is allowed, no problem at all. In clause 10, it is under the exemption. You can definitely go for it. Okay, trading in commodity derivatives. Very, very interesting. Trading in commodity derivatives. Very, very interesting, guys. Okay. Now when you go to recent clarifications by ICI, very important. So can we go for equity derivative trading? Can we go for equity trading? Can a chartered accountant in practice go for equity trading? Allowed. Can he go for equity derivative trading? Allowed. Individual capacity, not for clients. Individual capacity. Can you go for equity trading and derivative trading? Yes, for your own. You cannot do daily trading for your client. You cannot give trading facilities for the client. Just like you cannot give portfolio management, you cannot give trading facility for clients. So you're doing it for yourself, absolutely fine, but not on behalf of others. What about commodity trading? Not allowed. You should not do in the individual in any capacity. Not in the individual capacity and not for others. Very, very interesting and very important. So here, going for trading commodity derivatives is not allowed. Okay, so it is not allowed under clause 11 recent clarifications. So November 21 mock, November 22 mock, this question is there. Multiple occupation is special executive magistrate. He took over as executive chairman. Special executive magistrate. He must have passed certain exams of the government and special executive magistrate. Okay. He can become a special executive magistrate. It is allowed in general permission. Chairman of a software company. If a chartered accountant in practice wants to go for a job, okay, if you want to go for a job under CA firm, then he can go for general permission. But if he wants to go for job in a business concern, then a specific permission is required. He is a leading income tax practitioner and consultant for derivative products. He is going income tax practice, absolutely fine. He is a consultant for derivative products, absolutely fine. Trading in commodity derivatives, not at all correct. Special permission from council for becoming executive chairman. Now here students get confused. Here student gets confused. Becoming executive chairman for trading in commodity. Now guys, so it's very, very interesting, very interesting. Let's understand. Let's understand. He is doing a lot of things. Okay. Now, he is doing practice, that is absolutely fine. So, he's into practice and doing, so a clause 11 is relevant here. Clause 11 is relevant, section 190A. What is allowed under general permission and what is allowed under special permission is relevant out here. Give reference of clause 11, talk about clause 11, talk about general permission, special permission, and you do talk about relevant things. As the question goes, first is going for special executive magistrate. It is allowed in general permission. Absolutely fine. Not guilty of professional misconduct. Executive chairman, he has taken the permission. He has taken special permission and then he is doing that. He got the permission from ICI. Absolutely fine. He is income tax practitioner. Absolutely fine. He is consultant for derivative product. Absolutely fine. Trading in commodity derivatives. This is banned. This is banned. Even taking permission is not a solution to it. So this question is little twisted. They say that ICI has given the permission. Doing commodity derivative itself is not allowed. It is banned. Even on permission basis, it is not allowed. He is going wrong at one place. He is doing commodity derivatives. He is doing commodity derivatives. He is going wrong there, guys. And people may get confused that there's a permission from ICI, but doing itself is banned with or without permission. So that is where it is going wrong. I understand this case is little twisted. You are saying that ICI has given the permission. Little twisted. That's why they have not asked it in the exams yet. But keep in mind, okay, so we'll say that ICI cannot give permission for that. There's something wrong. He cannot do commodity derivatives with or without permission. That's the only point. That's the only issue. That's the only challenge. But it's good to understand that how other things are allowed. Again, multiple points are there. May 23 RTP, May 23 RTP, it's there. Okay. Let's quickly go through this, guys. Equity research is absolutely fine. Advising friends is absolutely fine. He's a practicing chartered accountant. Paper setter is general permission. Equity research is absolutely fine. Being a consultant advisor, absolutely fine. Being a paper setter is absolutely fine. He owned agriculture land and was doing agriculture, absolutely fine. Allowed in general permission. Allowed in general permission. He became undischarged insolvent. If he becomes insolvent, he is disqualified. Undischarged insolvent, he is disqualified. But then he got the misfortune certificate, he saved. Okay. So, first of all, clause 11 gets applicable. Then section 8 is also applicable. Under clause 11, it is absolutely fine to do equity research. Okay. But then you cannot publish reports. That's very important. You cannot publish retail reports. They have clarified this. You cannot issue public reports, public research reports. Okay. He's simply advising. Doing equity research is fine. It's a very simple thing. Giving advisory consultancy is absolutely fine. It is allowed as such. That's not a problem. If they would have said that he has published a research report, a retail report, buy and sell recommendation, there he would have gone wrong. Having own agriculture land allowed under general permission clause, own agriculture land and doing it, absolutely fine. Then you come to section 8. So he is absolutely fine, no problem in clause 11. He is insolvent, but he got misfortune certificate, he will again come back. So being paper setter is also allowed in clause 11. Clause 11, general permissions. So he is not debarred. So no problem under clause 11 also, and no problem under clause 11 also, and no problem under section 8 also. Absolutely fine. Sumanti, practicing chartered account, office in Mumbai, owner of domain cop.net. Domain name to XY for earning royalty of 2,25,000. One of the directors contend that CA Sumati has violated the code of conduct. There is no violation of code of conduct. Okay. So it's a clause 11. So the question is, can a chartered accountant own domain names? Interesting. The first time they have targeted this particular concept. The question is whether he can own the domain name and sell the domain name. So she is saying that there is no violation of code of conduct. Code of conduct as selling domain name is not related to any professional assignments. Okay. So what they're saying is there's a clause 11, and clause 11 say that you can perform any other business or occupation as given under regulation 190A. 198 talks about two lists. It talks about what you can do in general permission, without any permission, what things you can do, and what things you can do with permission. And in with permission, they have specified if you want to do apart from this, if you want to do any other business or occupation, you need a specific permission. If you want to go for any other business or occupation, then you need specific permission. So they are saying that owning domain names and selling domain names is any other business or occupation. It is any other business or occupation. So if you want to go for any other business or occupation, you should have taken the permission. You could have taken the permission from ICI. Can I go into this particular business or occupation? Sumati has not gone for such thing. Sumati has not gone for such thing. Okay. So she is guilty of professional misconduct under clause 11. They have targeted a new thing altogether, guys. Very, 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 very important. Very important. Because it is a recent case, recent thing, it becomes very important, guys. Okay. Chartered account in practice having 4 article clause registered under him accepts appointment as a full-time lecturer in the college. Full-time lecturer in the college. He also become partner with his brother. Okay. You can go, listen guys, when it comes to full-time lecturer, again clause 11, the two lists are relevant. Two lists are relevant under clause 11. We talk about the general permission specific. If you want to become a full-time lecturer in a college, a specific permission is required. No specific permission is taken. So, no specific permission is taken. So, guilty under clause 11. And even if he takes specific permission, then he will go in part-time practice. He cannot train articles and he cannot do a test function. So there's a clear cut non-compliance. There's a professional misconduct. Clause 11 is not complied with. No specific permission is taken. Even if he takes permission, he cannot train articles after that. So there's a non-compliance of clause 11 and clarifications given thereunder. Okay. Then we talk about, they have not specified about clause 4, but then doing partnership with the relatives is not allowed in clause 4. There are specific people they have allowed. So relatives are not in the list. If you are owning the land, it is covered in general permission. If you are owning the agriculture land, if you own the land, if your family own the land, you can definitely go for agriculture. Absolutely fine. Okay, absolutely fine. You can go for agriculture. Then he becomes the executive chairman of the software company without any approval. That's not allowed. If you want to go for job along with COP, if you want to go for job, specific permission should be taken, then only you can go for job. After that, he applied for ICI. It's a professional misconduct. Guys, again, we are hitting the crux. I am not going in detail. I am just hitting the crux. Okay. Guys, we have a revision lecture from our titanium book. We have a revision lecture available from the titanium book, even from the Fadu book. Please, you can go and watch that. You can go and watch that. We have covered a lot of things if you want to go through the complete professional ethics. Who can sign reports and certificate? A chartered accountant in practice who is a partner on behalf of firm. A chartered accountant practice who is a partner can sign it. Only that person can sign it, guys, on behalf of firm. So, when it comes to audit queries, this can be audit query is absolutely fine. Employee can sign it, no problem. Employee can sign it. Production certificate, no, employee cannot sign. Attending income tax proceeding is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But signing stock certificates, not allowed. Production certificate, not allowed. Net worth certificate, not allowed. Signing reports and certificate by person other than chartered accountant practice a partner is not allowed. Regular queries is absolutely fine. Attending proceedings, absolutely fine. GST proceedings, absolutely fine. No problem at all. Gives power of attorney to employee chartered accountant to sign reports, not allowed. You cannot go against the law. Law says that only so and so person can sign it. You cannot make a power of attorney and bypass the law. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. So clause 12. We have section 26 also that no person other than member of the institute will sign any document on behalf of the chartered accountant firm in practice in his or its professional capacity. So section 20, but the intention of section 26 is that only qualified people should sign. Qualified people should be doing the signing thing. Non-qualified people should, so basically only genuine people, qualified people should sign. It is to stop forgery. That people should not do forgery. People should not sign on behalf of CA firm. They should not go for forgery. So section 26 is focusing to stop the forgery of the things. But they have referred it. It's absolutely fine. So audit queries, you can definitely article and staff can do it. Memorandum of cash verification asking questions they can do it. Draft observations, absolutely do it, no problem at all. Acknowledgement for records, these things can be done, signed by the staff and article, but signing financial statement is not allowed. Signing financial statement is not allowed, guys. Share of the fees from the lawyer of a company. So see, guys, when it comes to if there's a employee, CA employee, okay, who is an employment. If a chartered accountant is doing a job in a company is paying to ABC, advocate, agent, broker, CA, customer, he should not take a percentage of that. That will not be allowed. A person doing job should not take share from the that will be corruption. Advocate, agents, broker, CA. We are not talking about sharing in context of practice. We are talking about sharing in context of CA doing job. So don't apply first schedule part 1, clause 2 and 3. Apply here first schedule part 2. Part 2, clause 2. It's not allowed. Not responding to ICI, if you're not responding to ICI even after a lot of reminders, then first schedule part 3 clause 2, if you're not responding to so these 8 entity, ICI, council, quality review board, committee, appellate authority, below that disciplinary committee, BOD, disciplinary directorate, if you don't reply to them, you're not responding to them, you're not replying to them, you're not doing what they're saying, okay, it will be a misconduct under first schedule part 3 clause 2. You should mention all the 8 authorities, okay. Did not fill up the columns, that means not giving, and again, did not fill the columns which solicit information about engagement in any other business or occupation. If you're not giving this information, you're not replying to them, you're not responding to them, if you're not doing this, again, if you're not filling the form details, they're asking for details, you're not giving the details, you're not filling up the columns, you're not responding to that, again misconduct, first schedule part 3 clause 2. Fail to return books of accounts. If you're retaining books of accounts, instead it's clearly said that don't do it. You cannot retain books of accounts. You cannot retain books of accounts. Don't do it. You cannot retain books of accounts. Don't do it. Okay. They have explained this. Otherwise, it will be other misconduct. And other misconduct. See, whenever there is other misconduct, always refer first schedule, part 4, clause 2, bringing disrepute to the institute. Always mention this clause also and past decided cases also. So, disrepute to the institute, past decided cases, it is other misconduct. Now, the regional council has organized an international tour through tour operator during the years for its members. Personal benefit, so it's a corruption. So tour operator is doing booking and he is getting the corruption money. It's other misconduct. Again, refer clause 2 and past decided cases, and it will be other misconduct. So just I've explained the shortcut A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It covers all these cases, guys. It will be always good if you refer section 21 and 22 also. Okay, section 21, 22, which explains the 2 types of misconduct, professional misconduct, other misconduct, and powers to go beyond the schedules. So these 2 sections also relevant, always refer. What is the other misconduct? Section 21, 22, you mention the clause 2 and past decided cases. Proprietor firm was appointed concurrent auditor of the bank. He did coercion, that finance, okay, getting some checks purchased and thereafter failed to repay loan overdraft. Misused his power, that bank should finance, misused his power so that bank should finance, it's other misconduct. Again, clause section 121, 22, clause 2, past decided cases, all these cases are covered in that shortcut, guys, all these cases. Now, contesting engages his article assistant, using article assistant for election campaigning, using article assistant for election campaigning. You cannot use article assistant for any other purpose. Election campaigning, it's again other misconduct, guys. It's again other misconduct. It's a very old case that an auditor is called by the bank and bank is asking a lot of confidential information. You cannot breach confidentiality, even if it is for the good of the company. Even if it is for the good of the company, you cannot breach confidentiality. Only two exceptions are there, required by law or permitted by the client. Okay, having discussion is fine, but asking for confidential information is not allowed. Guys, I am just focusing on the crux, on the important things. In Chamber of Commerce, while giving a presentation, give all the detailed information about the client. It's a complete breach of confidentiality. Complete breach of confidentiality. It is not allowed. Second schedule, part 1, clause 1. Now, a firm of chartered accountants was appointed by a company to evaluate the cost for various products manufactured. One of the partners was a non-executive director of the company. Now, evaluating the cost and talking about the cost, how good is the giving consultancy. So basically, they are giving cost consultancy. Basically, here, guys, they are giving cost consultancy. Okay, they are giving cost consultancy. Now, if cost consultancy is given, guys, it is absolutely fine. Now, second schedule, part 1, clause 4. If there's a close relationship, you should not give opinion. You should not give opinion there. This is the cost consultancy is absolutely fine. If suppose my partner is a director, I cannot give audit report. Cost consultancy is absolutely fine. You can give the consultancy report. So if my partner is director, I cannot become auditor, but can I become a consultant? Absolutely fine. CA Dev started practice. It's a November 22 RTP question. Started practice in Punjab in 2019. Issued turnover certificate for Messrs. Asus traders to be forwarded to the bank for the purpose of availing cash credit. Brother of CA Dev was a proprietor. Listen, so we have second schedule, part 1, clause 4. Guilty if he expresses opinion on financial statement of any business or enterprise in which his firm or partner has substantial interest. That's in general clause. In clarification, they have specified that you cannot give reports and certificates for the relatives. You cannot give reports and certificates for the relatives. In clarification, again, guys, that's why in professional ethics, clarification are much more important than the clause itself. If you are focusing only on the clause, that is the biggest mistake you are doing. There are set of clarification under each clause, and they have clarified under clause 4 that if the relatives are involved, you cannot issue reports and certificates. It is not allowed. So it is not allowed here. Again, guys, I am just focusing on the crux of the case. Then we have second schedule, part 1, clause 5. Loan is taken from provident fund. If a material omission, if big information is omitted and chartered accountant knowingly he is not reporting it, a company has taken loan from provident fund and this thing is missing completely, silent about it, material omissions are knowingly not reported, are not presented, guilty under clause 5. Taking loan, not reporting, then guilty under clause 5. Material omissions, guys. Same thing, communicated to trustee but not reported. You need to report it. Communicating to trustees or some people is not the solution. You are supposed to put it. You are supposed to put it in your audit report. You are supposed to report it. Communicating to trustee is not going to solve the problem. It is not going to solve the problem. That is not the solution. You have to put it in your audit report. Now, he is giving certain information to authorities. This is misleading. Listen, guys. So first, we will assume that suppose he took income tax case is going on. He's taking information the client and giving it, and this information is misleading. A lot of omissions are there, false, misleading information is there. If he was aware about it, that this information is, there are a lot of omissions, misleading, false information is there, and still he submits this to the authority, he will be guilty. He will be guilty under clause 5 and 6. So they have applied both clause 5 and 6. It is assumed, okay, if he is aware about it. Now. They have assumed he is not aware. I have given a note. Here it is assumed CA was not aware of the facts. Incorrect. You can take other assumption, write the alternative possible also. You can always write a proper assumption. If he is aware and still is giving, it's a misconduct. If he is not aware, it's not a misconduct. Institute has taken the assumption that he was not aware about it. Question is silent. You have to write the assumption clearly, and you'll have to prefer the assumption, okay, he was not aware. Yes, you will have to remember this thing. That's once you do this question, you will remember it. Now, advise the managing director of the company to include orders under negotiation. Orders under negotiation in sales. Okay. So, basically, being a chartered accountant, the auditor, he is advising that some orders under negotiation, including the sales, that is absolutely wrong. That is a misstatement. Higher profits, misstatement. And thereafter gave clean report on the balance sheet. Clean report on balance sheet P&L. Okay. Now, they have applied clause 7. I am not personally very happy with that. Clause 7 is working with gross negligence. The most relevant, see, we cannot, sometime institute does mistake. This is a mistake from the institute. May 23 mock, it is there. I will say that you apply clause, I will say that I have given in the note, apply clause, clause 6. There's a material misstatement. There's a material misstatement in the financial statements. Wrong sales are reported. So apply clause 6. Then, because if you know this case, apply clause 7 also. They have done one more thing, bringing disrepute to the institute. Now that's a very weird thing. But then they have done that. If you can remember, it's fine. Otherwise, leave it. Okay. Clause 6 is more relevant out here. But still they have applied clause 7. If you remember clause 7 and clause 2, that's fine. Otherwise, even if you write clause 6 and explain it properly, it is a good answer. Okay. But this is weirdly answered by the institute by applying clause 7. Weirdly answered by the institute by applying clause 7. And then bringing disrepute to the institute. You can go for anything going disrepute to the institute. If audit report is not filed within the time, it's a gross negligence under clause 7. It's a gross negligence under clause 7, guys. If audit report is not filed within the proper. Again, only the key points, guys. Putting digital signature on resignation letter of previous auditor. Agam Private Limited requested CA Sheetal, practitioner, to digitally sign form related to resignation of Mr. Rohit, one of the director of the Agam Private Limited, along with the copy of resignation letter to be uploaded on website. The signature of Mr. Rohit was simply copied and pasted by another director. CA Sheetal, without verifying genuineness of the resignation letter, digitally signed the form and said the form was uploaded. So basically a director has resigned. So they are saying director has resigned, and uh, so basically they are saying one of the director has resigned. There's a resignation letter, and one of the director copy pasted a signature without verifying it properly, whether it is a genuine resignation, genuine signature. They said simply signed and uploaded on ROC. When they signed it, that means they are accepting that this document is genuine and uploading in ROC. Again, they say that working negligently without verifying whether the director has really resigned, whether the signature is genuine, whether the whole thing is genuine, without verifying the genuineness of the resignation letter, digitally signed it for the uploading it to the ROC. Gross negligence, working in gross negligence. Again, a latest new case, gross negligence. Circulation certificate, very old case, guys, that without verifying anything, without obtaining any information, without obtaining any information, you are verifying the circulation. You are verifying the circulation numbers of the newspaper. So many times, sometimes they apply clause 7, sometimes they apply clause 8 on the same thing. Sometimes they apply clause 7, sometimes they apply clause 8. You can refer both, and sometimes they also apply without verifying anything. You are giving the report, they apply clause 2 also. If they are giving report without any verification, you can apply clause 7, you can apply clause 8, and you can also give reference of clause 2. They have done that, guys. Yes. So there are some gray areas here. There are some gray areas and challenging issues. If they are not verifying anything and giving report, apply clause 2, 7, and 8. Yes, absolutely fine. They have done that. No change in balance. See, there is no change in balance. No change in balance, and you have to answer it as per professional ethics. Apply clause 2, 7, and 8. If the opening balance is not checked, you have to, and it has to be answered as per standards on auditing. You talk about SA 510. They are saying that the opening investment are not checked because it is as it is. So, okay. Now, but then it is as per the, in question they specified answer as per CA Act. Some balance is not checked, 2, 7, 8. Entrusted 10 lakh rupees with auditor to invest in specific security. The auditor pending investment of the money. If you get any money other than the fees and expenses, it has to be kept in separate bank account. Second schedule part 1 clause 10, separate bank account. They are not putting it in the separate bank account. Guilty of professional misconduct. False information. Chart account practice certified in a chart account practice that an article was undergoing training with him. He certified, whereas he was also employed with a company in a company between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on monthly salary 17,000 until 7 p.m. and then attended the office till 7 p.m. Pleaded the article was on audit of the company. So basically, chart account saying that a person is article with me, but in reality, he was working for a company. And doing a job. So giving false information to the institute. Very interesting. Giving false information to the institute. False information institute. Second schedule part 2 clause 3. Giving false information. If you give false information to the institute, council, institute, committees, disciplinary bodies, if you give false information, one more thing can be applied. One more thing can be applied here. So first of all, giving false information. Apart from this, okay, see, they have not applied clause 3, sorry. Now this is a false information. You could have applied clause 3, second schedule part 2 clause 3, that the false information is given. You could have applied that. They have simply said that second schedule part 2 clause 1, there's a contravention of the act, law, rules, regulation, guidelines. You are employing an article somewhere else. You are employing an article somewhere else. That's a breach of regulation, they have said. Okay. So you can apply breach of regulation, you can apply breach of regulation, you can apply other misconduct, you can apply false information also. Yes, guys, that is allowed. False information is given, so that clause is relevant. Breach of regulation, so clause 1 is relevant. So breach of regulation, clause 1 is relevant, and false information, clause 3 is relevant. You can give reference of both. Come on, guys, last few questions. False information again. Name of P as a partner filing information. Now, there's an empanelment. Just CA Institute says that there's an empanelment process. You come and get yourself empaneled. He's giving false information. If you're giving false information, it will be misconduct under clause 3. You're not giving this information to the banks. You're giving this information to ICAI. False information, it will be a misconduct, guys. Has received audit fees on progressive basis in respect of tax audit. Now, council guidelines, so basically is getting the fees on progressive basis, not after signing but progressive basis. Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. So you can be indebted, but the amount, now here guys, council, why they have mentioned council guidelines? If you're taking money from the client, okay, it will lead to indebtedness. That's why they're mentioning council guidelines. Section 288 of Income Tax Act talks about disqualification. So section 288 and research committee said that progressive basis allowed. So basically, if you're taking fees on progressive basis, it's absolutely fine. You will not be considered indebted. You will not be considered indebted for that. In section 288, the indebtedness limit for tax auditor is 0. And council guidance 2008 says that you follow the law. If law is saying something, follow the law. If law is silent about the indebtedness of any auditor, you apply the limit of 1 lakh. So here it is progressive basis, absolutely fine. There is no indebtedness, there is no disqualification, absolutely fine. Then we should not, we know that if we know that council guidelines, if fees is not paid, guys, then if fees of the previous audit is not paid, we cannot accept it. But then we have an exception if it is a sick unit. If you're a sick unit, you can accept it, no problem at all. Net worth is negative. There's a definition of sick unit. They're saying where the net worth is negative, that means it is a sick unit, guys. It is understood they're talking about a sick unit. Absolutely fine if you accept the assignment. Again, it is just same thing is specified in more practical manner. They are giving details and trying to prove that net worth is negative. Share capital 5, reserves and surplus minus 10. Okay. Share 5 minus 10. If capital is this, it means negative net worth. If net worth is negative, that unit is a sick unit. That when it is a sick unit, new auditor can accept the assignment even if the fees of previous auditor is unpaid. Give reference of council guidelines, talk about it, talk about the sick unit. Same thing, just now there's a beautiful way of doing this. If you have done such case once, that will be good enough. Now, there's a guideline which says that non-audit fees should not exceed the audit fees. It should not exceed the audit fees. Here, the non-audit fees is 1 crore and audit fees is 50 lakhs. So there is a complete clarification on that. If the non-audit fees is more than that, it will be a misconduct. It is a misconduct out here. If we accept it is a misconduct. There is nothing about minimum audit fees. There is nothing about minimum audit fees as on today. There is only recommendatory fees. Recommendatory fees. So it's except number of partners is not relevant. There is no, okay. Then tax audit limit. 6 partners. We know that limit of 1 partner can be used by another. There are 6 partners. 6 into 6, 360. 290 is absolutely fine. In tax audit, limit of 1 partner can be used by other. No problem at all. KYC, it's a theoretical question, guys. Okay. But then there's a problem with the question. I have just given the author's note. KYC is applicable to attest function. It means compilation function, audits and review. For consultancy, KYC is not required in general, but they have not emphasized on that point. You can always give it as a note. For KYC is applicable for attest function, so it should be there. They have not given importance that it's a consultation. But then they are writing about the compilation engagement also. Okay. Compilation also. So it includes compilation. So KYC is required for compilation. If it's a pure consultancy, then KYC is not required. Along with consultancy, you are going for compilation also. Okay. Then a KYC is required. So very important. And KYC, general information, engagement information. Very interesting point, guys. So guys, finally we are through. There are 2-3 more questions of 200 series. They are very basic. Please go through that. Guys, I hope you loved it. We have done a mammoth task of 365 questions. Do share your love. Do share and pass it on to everyone. And do put your positive comments and reviews. They matter a lot. I hope you enjoyed our effort of completing 365 questions in around around 25 hours. We have done that. If you increase the speed, you can watch the whole thing in maybe in 20 hours. And these are going to be the most probable